We all know very well that in Nigeria today, everyone is experiencing one form of stress or the other. True or false? I know that's for sure true. It's not just the heat, it's not just the economic stress, it's not just the ghost life you live in Lagos, it's not even the kind of eating habits. A lot of people are just existing now, living on survival mode. And that is a big challenge. And you know, when we talk of hypertension, it's not just about stress only. The continuous stress, the hormone that gets pumped into your blood, cortisol, non-adrenaline, when you're under stress, and you are not having anybody to fight with, you are not having anything to expend the energy on. So the stress is continuous. That is the Nigeria we are living in now. Nobody is going to actually need a prophet to tell you that we all need to listen to the talk, high blood pressure in Nigeria. We are seeing the consequences. We are seeing people without signs or symptoms. We are seeing healthy people just slumping, just falling, just having one organ damage or the other. We are having a lot of people going to coma. We are having, you know, very important personnel. In fact, there's no human being that is not important. But what is so challenging now is that this disease or this challenge that used to be aimed for the aged is now for the young. It is very, very challenging right now. We know that it's becoming a very, very big public health concern. And we are reaching out to people with this discussion, with lifestyle modifications, what we can do to make sure that we move a lot of people away from the statistics that they are possibly will die if they don't take action. Some people think early detection is the key, but it is not. Prevention is actually the key. But even if it's already there, we are going to profile all the lifestyle modifications that you can actually go into, you can actually take to reverse this disease situation, because we all know that even the drugs we take, they might not be enough to completely, you know, remove the root cause of the problem. We might not be able to reverse this situation. So we need to take our papers and biros and jot down important points when we get to the solutions. But first of all, being a scientist and being a pharmacist, my name is Justina Ekperegin. I'm a pharmacist by profession and having practiced for close to 40 years now. I know why I decided to come up with this topic, so that by God's grace, by this time next year, we would have moved a lot of people away from this health. In fact, I'm beginning to see it as an epidemic now, because it is becoming so prevalent. Everywhere you look, left, right, hospitals you go to. I just want us to see how serious this problem is. Even if we don't have statistics in Nigeria, the key fact from World Health Organization has already done a small, what we might call scientific essay to prove to us, to show to us that an estimated 1.28 billion adults aged between 30 to 79 years worldwide have hypertension. Most of them are living in low and middle income groups. And you know very well that most people in Nigeria live within these groups. And even those who live in high income areas, they are so much under stress and are also developing these signs and symptoms very, very, very fast. So about 46% adults with hypertension, especially in Nigeria, almost half of the people don't even know that they have hypertension. They don't go for tests, they don't take their BP, just maybe routine or occasionally, just by mistake, they do the test and they discover that there is a health challenge called hypertension. But most people don't even know that they have hypertension. More than half of these people with hypertension, not only that they are not diagnosed, they are not even treated. Even when they are diagnosed, most people cannot afford the drugs, they cannot afford the correct drugs, and sometimes they just make do with the survival mode most people have tuned to right now. That is why this topic is very, very important. Approximately 1 in 5 patients with hypertension, they definitely have it under control because they can afford it. That is 1 out of 5. That is just barely 20%. That's not fair enough. Hypertension is a major cause of premature death worldwide, and in Nigeria is becoming so horrible. Last month alone, in just a small church community, more than at least 3 or 4 people burial and all of them sudden death. To me, that is not acceptable at all, and we should do something about it. So, I want us to know that right now in the medical world, one of the major global targets or major global concern for non-communicable diseases is to reduce the prevalence of hypertension by 33%, and that's by the year 2030. That is about 6 years away from now. I hope even before the 6 years we'll be able to, get this. People get more than 33% if we just get well informed and pass the information to others. We don't just leave it to ourselves. We encourage others to apply these lifestyle modifications we are going to talk about. They are very effective. They have helped a lot of people. So what is high blood pressure? If we understand it, we know how to take away the root cause of the problem. Definitely, we have done justice, and we all see that it is so easy to handle this matter. But if we don't take action, we just take the body for granted, we think it's a very big problem. High blood pressure ordinarily is a condition where the force of the blood pressure, the blood that is being pumped by the heart with force, arterial wall is constantly too high. Somebody can have blood pressure within some few minutes and then it calms down, or the challenges. But when it is constantly, hitting on the arterial wall, it is a challenge. It can lead to high blood pressure. This hypertension is categorized into 2 stages. And depending on the readings that we are getting, we can know where, the person relies or where the person belongs. So we have stage 1, we have stage 2. From the table that I have shown, you can see when the systolic pressure is when it's higher than 120, you can say, oh, this person has stage 1. If it is not yet up to 150, it's not yet up to 140, it's just between 120 to 139. You can say it's stage 1. It's slightly high, and if you discover it that early, it's actually very easy to handle. But if it is, the systolic pressure is already above 40, you see, it's already in stage 2. We are not going to talk about the morbid one when it's already, above that, something that is higher, much higher than, 170, 180, and it's going higher and higher than that. That one, you need immediate attention. You need to rush that person to the hospital. Both for stage 1 and stage 2, which is systolic pressure, that is the upper one, is just around 120 to 139, stage 1. From 140 or higher up to 160, we still say, okay, it's stage 2. But when the systolic pressure, which is the one under, is lower than 80, we know it's kind of low. When it's low, especially when it's lower than 60. But when it is 80 to 90 or 89, it's still acceptable, but it's stage 1. It can easily be managed. So check the blood pressure, check the systolic blood pressure, and check the diastolic blood pressure, and discover where you are. It's important once in a while, especially if you're above the age of 30, to take your blood pressure from time to time. So hypertension is often referred to as a silent killer because most times the signs and symptoms symptoms show. Most people don't even notice that they have hypertension, because most of the signs and symptoms you will see, they are like just having the ordinary malaria, or maybe you didn't eat previous day, you think that's why you're feeling dizzy. So the common heart attack warning signs you should always look out for, because if these things are detected early, it's very easy to reverse or restore the person back to normal. If somebody is having disease first, don't take it for granted because, oh, maybe after some time the person feels normal, feels okay. No, go and check out what is going on. You are having some kind of lightheadedness, disease first, or you feel like throwing up, unusual fatigue, or unusual tiredness. You wake up from sleep when you're supposed to have just finished sleeping, but you notice that you are just tired, you just don't feel like doing anything. What you call what you call lethargy, unexplained lethargy, feeling weak, tired, feeling some kind of discomfort or pain in the arms that radiates to the back, especially if it's towards the left, because the heart is actually on the left-hand side. You're having shortness of breath from time to time. These are things you should look out for and not take for granted, because there might be a sign that in some few days, this person can have a stroke or can have what you might call coma or heart failure. Numbness in the extremities, it means the heart is no longer pumping blood to extremities. This heart pumps 5 liters of blood every minute. So it needs energy. It has to pump blood to extremities. It has to pump blood to the brain, all these small tiny blood vessels in the brain, so that oxygen and nutrient can get to the brain, can get to the fingers, can get to the foot. So when you're having numbness, it's already a sign that the heart is not functioning at optimum level. It's a beginning or it's a sign for you to look out for. And some people have sudden organ failure. The slightest or the smallest of them is that some people just scratch their leg and it becomes a sore, and that sore becomes also a sore that refuses to heal. The person doesn't have diabetes, but because blood, nutrients, or oxygen is no longer getting to that part of the body, that part is as good as dead. That's why that sore is refusing to heal. No matter the antibiotics you are taking, it's not going to help that part of the body. Some people can have sudden blindness. The worst part of them is when you have sudden kidney failure or any of the major organs. They can just fail once there's a blockade, once there's no blood flow to that part of the body. In fact, stroke is as a result of blockade or no blood flow. So the part of the brain that controls the right-hand side, the right-hand side of that person is having all the challenges. And if it is blood flow to the left-hand side, the person is having that challenge. So once you start having all these small signs, please, all this discomfort in the chest, or you run, you do exercises, you're having pain in the chest, or you are feeling pains all over the body, you think you should stop, or I stressed myself, that's why I'm having all this. No, it might not be. Just go check out and make sure there is underlying cause. Exercise and being active is part of living. Part of human nature. That is what the body was created to do. You are meant to sleep when you are tired, and when you have slept, you're supposed to be well refreshed and come back. So hypertension is prevalent across all age groups right now, especially in Nigeria. We are seeing people less than 20 also having this challenge now, and we have to do something about it from the root cause of the problem. So this is the post-COVID era. Everybody to understand that it's not about drug anymore. It's about removing all the things that are disease-causing elements from the system. Because the younger generations are also having it. It means that for us to go to old age, to become grandparents and enjoy our grandchildren, we what happened in India not too long ago. Please mute yourselves. I'm just appealing to you. Just Google this slide I'm just showing you. You will see it's all over the internet, and it was truly what happened. I think some few months ago, a cardiologist died at the age of 41 even though he had normal ECG readings, which means we don't take all this information we are sharing tonight into, you know, real action or into practice is going to really be major time, because you can be doing all the tests, you can be doing all the exercises, you can be eating food, you can be doing a lot of all these good things and still have this problem if you don't take it into action. So, like I was saying, the prevalence of hypertension in Nigeria right now is what you can actually Google and get from the internet. It's very easy for you to understand that this is becoming a big problem. We are sharing all this information because we want to reduce the number of people that are having this challenge. So whether you even know that you have it or not, we want you to listen to lifestyle modification. You can start tonight. Start to apply them. Start to make changes. Just take action, and you will be amazed at the way your life will turn out, the way your body will report, the way you understand all that hypertension is a small thing for those who know what to do. So first of all, what are the contributing factors to hypertension? Once you understand the contributing factors, you know how to deal with them. This hypertension, like I explained, is the pressure against the arterial wall, the way the heart is pumping. Remember, sometimes when the heart doesn't even have enough blood to pump, it tries to make up for that, short in blood supply by, exerting more force. That's why you see some people, they now have enlarged heart. The heart is some people have a lot of fluid collected, some people have a lot of fat around there, so a lot of challenges. So what are the contributing factors? First, it's supposed to be age. Scientifically, that was how it was supposed to be, but post-COVID is seeing a lot of people in the younger generation also having this hypertension, having a large heart, having a lot of fluid or fat collecting around the heart, and it's becoming a big challenge. So age is a factor. So once you're above the age of 30, please start to take all the signs very, very seriously. Another important factor, and to me, this is one of the most important factors, is lifestyle factors. To the extent that in the medical world, we have lifestyle modifications that are scientifically proven to help you change the status or change the readings of your blood pressure. And these lifestyle factors include eating habits, your diet, like all the salts, saturated fats. Over time, as I progress, I'm going to talk so much about the salt we can easily control. You can decide, oh, I don't want too much salt in my food. But saturated fat, because you cannot produce yours, you go to the market now, it's whatever they are telling you is vegetable oil. That's what we call vegetable oil. But you will be surprised that it's not real vegetable oil. Some of them are even from petroleum byproducts, some of them are trans fat, some of them are hydrogenated fat, saturated fat instead of using unsaturated fat. We have a lot of people living sedentary lifestyle now with the sun being so hot. A lot of people are afraid to go out. A lot of people just go to the phone. They are watching movies from morning till evening. A lot of things. You are working in the office, so just sitting somewhere and not moving the body. So if somebody is eating a lot of food stuff that have these fats that are unsaturated, that are saturated, instead of eating unsaturated fat, you will see that this saturated fat is not just the cholesterol they will form, because even you eat only vegetable, you are a vegetarian, you will still produce cholesterol because your body will produce them from the food you are eating. Imagine goats and cows that don't eat animal fat, they don't eat anything fat, they eat only grass. When you cut their bodies open, you bring out their heart or bring out their liver, you see fat surrounding the heart. You see those white substances surrounding the heart, those are fat. They don't eat fat. So it's not about the only the fat you are eating, not to talk of us who eats, especially in Nigeria, we fry almost everything we eat. We eat oil, everything. We eat fatty food all the time. So if this cholesterol now, you know, as you are eating all this fatty food, forms plaques. These plaques, they attach to the arterial wall. One, they will make the arterial wall thick, strong, like a dry stick. The day that you are somebody, that person that has a strong arterial wall is excited, or that was why we had some people during the football, all the excitement, all the tension, they just, you know, died. Because once there is that up surge of blood into such blood vessels, they can burst open. Another challenge is that when the fats, saturated fat, we're talking about cholesterol, is deposited along the arterial wall, arteries carry oxygenated blood. When they combine with this fat, they form plaques, P-L-A-Q-U-E, plaques, thick substances. I will show the picture as I progress, around the inner lumen of the arteries. And you know that will impede the flow of blood. Like if the blood vessel was big like this, and now with the formation of the plaques, you know, something is formed there. The blood flow is not as small as this. Naturally, from what I've explained, you see that the blood, the heart is now pumping with greater force against a resistant arterial wall. High blood pressure has started from there. And remember, the drugs you are taking, propranolol, Novax, and all that, they are not taking away the plaque. They are not clearing the plaque. They are just reducing the blood flow. That's why you take their diuretics. They are helping the blood flow to be able to manage to pass that. But they are not removing the plaques so that you have enough blood flow going to the extremities, going to all parts of the body. And the body needs oxygen 24/7. The body needs nutrients 24/7. Also, because we are not doing exercises, we are not burning off these fats, we are not burning off these saturated oils that we have in the body. They are accumulating day in, day out. Remember, arteries carry oxygenated blood. That's why veins carry deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood veins. And in the class, but you can form blood clots. These blood clots can also happen when some people don't remove toxins from their system. They don't ever detoxify. Someone they don't go to the toilet like up to 2 or 3 times a day. They think it's just normal. That's how their body all the science very well. You see that there's what we call reuptake of toxins from the large intestines. These small particles can flow blood vessels. And when they find the zest in the veins, they can kind of scratch the inner lumen of the blood vessel. And the body will see it as a wound that needs, you know, clotting. Just like when you have a crack and the blood clot to come, and that's why you have blood clots that are forming inside the veins. That's why you hear some people take aspirin, small doses of aspirin to prevent such blood clots. And you know, on the side of aspirin, we don't also encourage people to just take that managed by a medical doctor. But it's a big problem.
Mute yourself. Mute yourself.
Yeah, we dey talk. Me? No, I don't get mom.
That's why I gave you that phone.
I'll hear myself.
Mora, please, can you mute yourself? Namani, all the people that, please, your noise is disturbing the presentation. This is key to what we are discussing. So, like I said, the veins carry the oxygenated blood, no oxygen. But it can have a lot of toxic load along the blood vessel that can disturb or scratch the inner lumen of the blood vessel. And that can cause blood clots. Blood clots can make the blood, that's why calcium deposits there and form some kind of big lump that can block a smaller blood vessel. And once that is blocked, that part of the body can be impeded. And that's a big problem. Blood pressure is starting, and some organ damage can also happen. Socioeconomic factors, very, 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 very prevalent, especially in our economy. A lot of people have limited access to healthcare, especially with the best symptom of all our health professionals. When you go to most hospitals now, the experienced medical doctors, all the professors, most of my lecturers, when I was in PBTH, all of them they have relocated to either Saudi Arabia, Dubai, or so many other countries. You see that it's only just the graduates.
So we can hear you. I do
limited access to healthcare is a big challenge. That's why I think a lot of people are doing all these medical tourism now. I think people are trying to bring it to Nigeria so that we also have medical tourism. So as we are saying, all this contributes to the high blood pressure because through different mechanisms that we cannot handle on our own, people are just managing. The bigger one is when people are predisposed to this hypertension that is running in the family. Genetically, somebody had it, the parents had it, so the children are going to have it. But the good news is that right now, from all scientific proof, when you are genetically predisposed, you don't have to have the hypertension. It's not a sentence that you must have the hypertension. You have the time, you can.
Adeola Benedict, you are stopping us. Adeola Benedict, you are stopping us.
Thank you very much. So this neurogenetic, if you study them very well, you see that it means that, I'll give you an example. If, for example, a desert plant, a plant that grows very well in the desert, is planted in the rainforest, it will not grow very well because it's not having its normal natural environment. The same thing, a plant that grows very well in the rainforest, go and plant it in the desert, it will not grow. The same thing, if you don't create an enabling environment for the DNA that's supposed to express itself as you know the person is growing up, you don't create the enabling environment for hypertension to happen, I bet you it will never happen. Science has proved it. Right now, it is being known that yes, if somebody is genetically predisposed to hypertension and decides to imbibe all the lifestyle modifications, not to allow the enabling environment for that hypertension to happen, it will never happen. You can live your life up to 100 and something in health and strength and vitality. I can assure you, because science has proven it, that all you need is to make sure that you don't allow that genetic predisposition to make you develop the disease by having a well-informed mind on how to live your life healthily. Another factor is obesity. Of course, if the heart as small as this, my fist, is supposed to pump heart blood all around this vicinity, but now the body is as big as the circumference is now like 2 times, 3 times, sometimes even 4 times. It means that the heart is going to have a hard time pumping blood to extremities. That's simple science. Simple, I think common sense will tell us that one. So when some people are saying, oh, I'm not big, I'm just, I think, what's the name? They say, I am fabulous and all the rest. Yes, nobody says you should not be fabulous, but also make sure the heart is big enough to take blood to all your extremities. Make sure you are exercising, make sure you are active. I want you to take this very seriously. Take note of this, that a slim person who doesn't do exercise will not live as long as a fat person who does exercises regularly. I hope you got that. Which means that you are slim doesn't mean that that person cannot have hypertension or heart-related diseases or stroke, any of all these challenges that we have with the heart. So like I was saying, medication is one big aspect that people don't take seriously, but is the biggest problem because they are from common drugs. We think they are over-the-counter drugs. Is it not just paracetamol? Is it not just those drugs you are calling just? Take the leaflet and read the side effects that are written in the leaflet. Some people will say, oh, I've been taking that drug for almost 3-4 years now. I'm still how I'm supposed to be. Please, if you are on all these preventive drugs, some people call them pills, you know, birth control pills. If you're on all these pain-relieving drugs, you always buy over the counter, Indosi, Buta, paracetamol, all those things. Go and read the leaflet of those drugs and see their side effects before you take them. So you don't take them without medical advice, without doctor's recommendation. It's important to know what you are going into, so that when it happens, you say, oh, it's not my portion, how did it come to me and not the rest? Please just know that a lot of drugs have the ability to cause hypertension. Smoking, drinking, you know, somebody said the best way to avoid the negative effect of smoking or drinking is not to even take them at all. But if you're already on them, we are going to also show you lifestyle modification on how you can go away from them. So it's important that hypertension, even though it's a complex situation and contributing to a lot of damages to, you know, various organs of the body, it is important we know how to manage it if it's already there, how to prevent them if we are not yet there, and how to reverse the situation if it is already causing the damages that we don't want, whatever it is. So I want to quickly mention some of the small signs and symptoms if the person already has hypertension. And because these signs and symptoms, they are similar to other health conditions, we might just, you know, misunderstand them. But it's important that you know that once you have any one or two of these signs and symptoms, do the right checkup, do the right investigations. Though the investigation might not also be enough, do all the lifestyle modifications we are going to talk about, so you can live your lifestyle, live your own life to the fullest, the way God has created you to live. That's the essence of this talk. So if you have severe headache, like one kind of splitting headache from time to time, if you have chest pains, especially when you are doing any walk or running, climbing staircase, it's called pain on exertion. Any pain on exertion is not acceptable at all. It's a sign that there is a challenge. Or sometimes you have dizzy spells. You just feel dizzy, you just feel uneasy. Sometimes it can be hypotension. We call it postural hypotension. Sometimes it can be hypertension. Postural hypotension is when the BP is so low. You get up from a place, it seems as if you are not just yourself, but within 1 minute or so, you just become normal and you think it's okay just because you came back to normal. My brother, my sister, please, it is not normal. Go check out what is going on and start to correct it immediately. Also, if you have difficulty in breathing, you know, you are panting. I had somebody recently giving us testimony when she wanted to start at C9, you know, you could see the video she produced. She was actually panting. And then after the C9, she made a video again and you could see her very healthy, strong, able to talk as long as she wanted to talk. You know, some people, as I'm talking now, after for some time, you see, you are becoming breathless, you are finding it difficult to say the things you want to say. Please don't wait for that stroke to happen. Just know that it has already started. Go to the hospital, check it out, and do something. Or you're always feeling like throwing up, feeling, you know, like vomiting, or sometimes you just throw up from time to time. Unexplained, you know, he had blood vision, you are seeing some kind of double vision, everything look cloudy, as if it's threatening to rain, everything as if there's cloud or there's a mist everywhere. Just know that it is not normal, it is not eye problem. If it is not eye problem, go check it out and make sure you are not having a stroke coming up. Then if you notice that any small thing makes you anxious, makes you feel, you know, stressed up, any small question, you feel tensed up, you feel angry, you feel uneasy, you know, just go check it out, because it means the brain is already having that confusion, it's already having intolerance, it's already having anxiety. No, it's already having confusion. It's not remembering things well. No, you have boozy ear, you know, sounds in the ears. Sometimes you want to woo it to stop, and you think it's okay because it has stopped. Please don't take that for granted. Also, when you have numbness at extremities, or you have nosebleed, you have abnormal heart rhythm, no abnormal palpitations in the heart, it is not okay. Don't think because, oh, it calm down after some time, let me just drink water and I will feel okay. If you have unexplained fatigue, you feel lethargic, you just don't feel like going to work, you don't feel like doing anything, you are sleeping all day, sleeping so much, you know that all is not well. Please go check it out. Or sometimes you have pain on one side of the jaw, you know, radiating to the back or radiating to the neck. You know, I'm not saying that every pain, every nausea, every numbness, every fatigue, every lethargic feeling, every confusion, every anger is actually hypertension, but they are initial signs. They are silent killers because we take these things for granted. They are there and we don't notice them to do something about them. But if you just go check it out, you have not lost anything at all. So if you don't check it out and you allow it to remain, there are a lot of consequences, but time will not permit me to go through all of them. But there are a few we know are already everywhere. People are seeing them. One of them is cardiovascular complications. You have a lot of people having a large heart, having fluid collecting in the heart, having difficulty to do anything, to even ride a bike, to even swim. Some people will say, even, you know, even they're barely 70 or 80, they cannot do most of all these things. Not talk of when you are not even yet up to 70, you cannot swim, you cannot ride bike, you cannot run, you cannot do any of all these things. Cardiovascular diseases are already setting in because it means the person doesn't have strength, doesn't have energy to do anything meaningful. In fact, these days we are talking of grandparents who are retired to refire so that you are filled with energy and vitality because you keep your heart and your system healthy. Another challenge we notice now, and this one is really becoming a big problem, is renal complications, especially for those who are having renal failure. It's implied that, you know, when the blood flow to the kidney is cut off, it means the kidney is actually completely dead. It's either they replace that kidney or the person has to go on dialysis at least once a week, and that is not funny at all. It takes a lot of nutrients from you, it takes a lot of energy from the person, a lot of money, a lot of things. You see that some people thinking that, oh, I would like to take care of myself, but it's expensive. But it is more expensive to take care of e-health once it has already set in. Another problem we'll notice is vision problems. Sometimes it can even lead to sudden blindness. The person never had problem with the eyes, no cataract, no glaucoma, nothing at all. And the person just suddenly goes blind because the blood supply to the eye or the two eyes has been blocked off because of either plaque or blood clot. That blood vessel is no longer supplying blood to that part of the body, to that organ. So vision problem. And like the one I explained before, ulcer sores can also develop. So you have chronic blood pressure, and when it is not treated, stroke can also enter. If you have stroke from the blood supply to the right hand side is the one that is damaged, you see the person's left hand has become completely, you know, damaged. If it is blood supply to the left hand side that is blocked, you see the right hand side is no longer functioning, and we know that stroke has already happened. That one we don't need to explain because we are seeing it everywhere. It's happening every day. So like I mentioned before, arteriosclerosis is the deposit of plaques along the arteries. Arteries carry oxygenated blood, and when oxygen mixes with cholesterol or high density hydrocarbons, which is the saturated fat that most of us eat, in all these things we call vegetable oils, all the food we eat outside. Arteriosclerosis is that hard substance. You see, when you cut the goat or cows open, that white substance you see around the heart or you sometimes see around the liver. You see they are inside blood vessels also, so they can block the blood supply to everyone. When they completely block it, that's when you have the organ failure or stroke. And if it is blood supply to the heart, it can be heart failure, and that can lead to sudden death. If it is blood supply to the brain, the person can go into coma. And even when they are pumping blood around the body, the whole body is alive, but the brain is completely dead because there's no blood supply to that part of the body. As I already mentioned before, kidney failure and any other organ failure and ulcer sores that will refuse to heal can also happen. There are so many. Time will not permit us to go through all of them, but the important thing now is to discuss prevention and management. How do we prevent this from happening? Number one is to encourage lifestyle modifications. There are about five lifestyle modifications, but I'm going to start with the most important one, which is what we eat, how to eat healthily. Some people used to say, eat breakfast like a king, eat lunch like a queen, and eat dinner like what? Maybe like a slave, I don't know. But
like a papa,
like a papa. I don't want to call anybody papa because we shouldn't be in Jesus' name. I don't think we should all be. Anyway, what is important here is that eating, first of all, when do you think is your breakfast? You think 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 9 a.m. When you wake up in the morning, that's breakfast, you must eat breakfast. No, breakfast is actually anytime you decide to break your fast. So if you decide to eat 6 p.m., that's your breakfast. So autophagy, which is the science through which your body eats up dead cells, needs some time where you are not eating any major food that needs digestion. The food that is already available in the absorbable form to go into the system to help the body heal itself, called body healing food, is what you will need for some time. It may not be every day, but from time to time, you have to give your body time to do away with disease-causing elements, do away with damaged cells, do away with DNA that have already been, compromised, and help the body heal itself from inside out. So eating at the right time is important. Eating the right food at the right time is important. That eating as a king, I want to stress that eating as a king doesn't mean putting a whole food chicken down, using malt or a wine or something to now wash it down, and you think it's enjoyment. No, it is not. You're actually punishing the body because the body will have a hard time to detoxify and eliminate the part of the food that the body doesn't need. Eating food as a king means the quantity of the body healing food you are giving to the body. It may not be much, but the quality of the food. That is why if they want to measure your PCV, that's your part cell volume, how much of nutrient, how much of red blood cell you have, is the blood that you will take. You will now assess what the person has. Nobody will go and take your flesh and doesn't want to be checking. It means it's what actually gets to the blood that is important. And that is where organic food nutrients made available in their absorbable form already, like if instead of taking that food chicken, now you have amino acid, the essential amino acid and the normal amino acid, which are 28, complete in a meal. Even if it's just a teaspoon, as long as it's balanced for the day, you have taken the balanced meal and you are actually eating as a king. It's different from eating bread with 10 eggs, with Bonvita and milk that will go and clog up the arteries and make blood flow to be difficult for the heart, where you will have blood pressure because the arterial walls that is being bombarded now is having a hard time clearing out what that person has eaten. So encourage healthy eating habits, and I always encourage everybody, start your morning with this super green. I don't joke with that. And you can see, as a grandmother, I mean, my sister is going to 70. I don't joke with super green every morning. I just take it with my aloe vera gel every morning, do C9 from time to time. I take Arctic Sea. I would explain why I take all those ones. But what is important is that you are at least taking the right nutrient. That is what we are talking about. Lifestyle modification, the first one is to eat correctly. Different stages of, food appropriation in the body from time to time. You see that in the morning, when you are supposed to be eliminating waste product, usually between the time of 4 a.m. to about 12, 8 hours, you should encourage the body to eliminate what the body doesn't need. So you should take greens, a lot of fruits, vegetables, aloe vera gel, a lot of things that will help the body eliminate what the body doesn't need. And from that 12 to about 8 p.m., which is another period of 8 hours, is supposed to be the appropriation period when your body is not taking nutrients, body healing tools, body healing food, all the body. The eye needs vitamin A, it will go and take it. The heart needs calcium, it will go and take it. The bones need calcium, it will go and take it. The blood needs maybe B12. The blood needs iron, the blood needs, vitamin C, the blood needs all that it needs to form blood. You take it from the food you are eating, appropriation period. So when you eliminate in the morning, you appropriate, you are able to, assimilate, take up all that the body needs, then the body will not go into the repairing, the body is able to use. That's when you are supposed to be sleeping from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. again, another period of 8 hours. But you see that 8 p.m., some people are beginning to able to cook their food. Some people eat by 8, some people eat by 9, some people eat by 10, some people eat by... When your body is supposed to be repairing, it is not trying to digest. Confusion. And the first problem is starting from there. That is why you have all those reuptake of toxins. So, number 2, lifestyle modifications that will help the body, heal itself, help the heart to, go back to normal or restore back to health is regular physical activity. And I tell you, when you want to paint a house that is dirty, you don't just start putting beautiful paint on it. You clean it up. Common sense just tells us that. The same thing with the body. Now that we know, the first thing to do is to do a clean line, to clean up all disease-causing elements, free radicals, all the digestive tract, food that has clogged all the pores, all the fat-soluble pollutants, all the fat, all the things that we have talked about today, about trans fat or saturated fat. You need saponins. Saponification is the making of soap. When I say saponins, even though you're not a science person, you just know from there, it means something that can, so let me use the word soapify, but it's supposed to be saponins. They are alkaloids, natural alkaloids from plants that help the fat-soluble pollutants to become soapy. So water, as you drink water, you cannot eliminate them from the system. Aloe vera gel contains that naturally, contains antioxidant to remove all the free radicals. Free radicals are damaging, ionized molecules that damage cells, and those damaged cells, when they replicate, when they divide and make more cells, they make damaged cells also, and all these cancers and challenges with the heart we are talking about, they all start from there. So this internal inflammation will be prevented if you do physical activity. But to start the physical activity, so you don't end up with body pains and stress, or allow those toxins to not go into vital organs. The fat-soluble toxins, we don't want it to go into vital organs. We don't want it to block, the flow of blood. You have to use C9 to start off, because it will not help your body to adapt to the healthier lifestyle, to healthier eating habits. So it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not a starving situation. It's a pack that helps your body to adapt to healthier living lifestyle. Also, cease smoking. If you have been smoking, that one is not negotiable at all. There's nothing to explain there. But the good news is that If you find it difficult to stop smoking, just chew absorbent C. It is produced in a matrix so that your body takes the vitamin C as at when it needs it. You know very well that if you take the ordinary vitamin C that you just buy anywhere, you see, anytime you urinate, you eliminate them. If you take overdose, you can have challenge with kidney stones. But with slow release preparation, because this absorbent C is vitamin C prepared in oat bran, your body takes it as at when it needs it. You can never have overdose, and you can never have less than what you want. Anytime you just feel like smoking, or once you start taking it at a high dose of like 2 times a day, you will see that you won't even feel like smoking at all again. I've had a lot of my friends or relations, people that I've spoken to, and meet them, I just explain to them, they go on this vitamin C and they have been able to move away from smoking. If you know anybody that is smoking, let them know the dangers and put them on this absorbent C. You'll be amazed. They will come thanking you. They will thank God the day they actually met you. And then if you also are addicted to alcohol, you will see that you will need lithium to help protect your liver, protect your system. You need to take this lithium from time to time if you want to move away from taking too much alcohol. And if you are the type that just take it once in a while, you also need lithium to protect your liver, because we know very well that all the toxins we are talking about that the liver cannot handle, they are the ones that get pumped into the system to cause all these fat-soluble pollutants moving around the body to block the blood vessels. Also, in Nigeria right now, we don't need a prophet to tell us that the stress is becoming overwhelming. Stress management techniques has to do with you taking the product to help you manage the stress right now. It starts with aloe vera gel, but most importantly, you must add blossom tea. Blossom tea and royal jelly. Just put royal jelly too under your tongue so that this hot sun that you are experiencing, so this hardship or prices, when you price something, before you ask another person or come back, they tell you the price. Instead of getting angry, just put royal jelly under your tongue and have your peace. Take your blossom tea, brew it overnight, and just be sipping it, because you need to even rehydrate. Aloe vera gel has become so important right now. Why it is so important is that even if you don't remember to drink water, because it will hydrate your cell, both intercellular and intracellular, it means that you will not have challenge of dehydration at all. All your cells will maintain that normal hydration. All the activities will be going on normally, no matter the temperature. No matter the temperature that we are having in our environment right now. So please take it seriously that you are using all these ones to just manage, even if you are genetically predisposed. But if the person already has hypertension or already has the signs and symptoms we mentioned, or is genetically predisposed, please, you will need to not only just the signal, you need to go on cardio health. Cardio health is actually the nourishment or the nutrient that the heart needs. A heart that pumps 5 liters of blood per minute. Can you imagine what it does every 24 hours of the day? Even when you are sleeping, it's the only organ that still keeps working. That organ needs to be looked after, needs to be supported, needs to be given its special nourishment. And today, I bring you the good news. After all the research, world-renowned professors sitting down, a proprietary blend was put together, especially the most important active ingredient I saw there, which is coenzyme. I was really blown away when I saw it. I said, natural coenzyme Q10 pumps blood to helps to oxygenate blood, oxygenate all the cells of the body, and the blood carries this coenzyme Q10 to all parts of the body. So it means every cell in your body is well oxygenated. Coenzyme Q10 helps to oxygenate all cells in the body, and the heart needs it more than any other thing. Naturally, we have them as we are growing up, but from the age of 35, when we no longer produce growth hormone, it starts to go down. Sometimes it's like as good as 0, which means everybody from the age of 35, don't joke with this, but everybody I know we all need the Arctic C to clear plus to help us with unsaturated fatty acid. But co-executant is what helps the heart to pump blood to all parts of the body so that you get nourishment to every organ, you get oxygen to every organ 24/7. Please don't joke with this, because all the manganese, all the co-executant, all the minerals, trace elements, all that the heart needs, the specialized muscle in the heart, what they need, they are present in this cardio health. Very, very important. If the person already has stroke, increase the dose to 2, but the normal dose is just 1 sachet a day. Mix it with your aloe vera gel and go do your exercises. You will no longer have all those chest pains, all those breathlessness, and all the challenges you see. They will just gradually go out of the body. Dosage is usually, like I said, 1 sachet in half glass of aloe vera gel to drink every day. It dissolves very easily, you know. So it was discovered by world-renowned professors. They are Nobel Prize winners, and it's what FFP has capitalized on over 46 years now that this company has been producing it. You will notice that in this world, most network marketing companies are having challenges in Nigeria now when prices are like this, but FFP is thriving so well because we have products that actually work if you know how to recommend them. That's why I'm doing this presentation, so you recommend them correctly, manage the people until they get results. The good news is that you can take our products with the antihypertensive that have been recommended for you, because ours are pure food. They are from food that you eat ordinarily. So there's no drug interaction, there's no antagonism, and it is not alternative medicine, it's complementary. If most times it takes 3 months to correct minimum, and while you are taking your antihypertensive and the drug, you just be monitoring the BP, and the doctor will taper down the drugs gradually. I've had a lot, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who have used this drug, and they have been able to, you know, taper down and stop the BP drugs, which the doctor stopped for them when their BP became normal. And it's years and years after they are no longer on BP drugs. Their heart function, their BP has remained normal for years after years. So we need to take this cardio health. And I know almost everybody is used to omega-3, but what is unique about our omega-3 and omega-9, which is combined in this unique preparation called Arctic Sea, cold region, Arctic regions, fish from the Arctic region, it means it's cold. You will notice that the unsaturated fatty acids were discovered, you know, hundreds of years back, but most people were extracting them with heat, so they were ineffective. And most medical people were thinking that, oh, these are not effective, until we have companies like Forever Living Products that were, you know, financially strong enough to do what we call cold stabilization process by extracting it through chromatography, that you are able to now get it potent as it is with the fish that has not been touched by heat. Because omega-3 and omega-9, they are very, very good in extracting or eliminating the plaques I talk about that happens when you have the atherosclerosis that are forming in oxygenated blood. If you have time, just Google Arctic Sea Demo by John Ekpereji. That will do the explanation, you know, more for you on how the plaques are cleared from the system. So you need to clear the plaques by taking Arctic Sea. You see that it doesn't only help the plaques, it helps the brain. Even if the person is already suffering from stroke, you need the Arctic Sea. Pregnant women, they also need Arctic Sea to be able to give birth to a healthy baby naturally, and you see their skin glowing. And if you don't want to develop arthritis at all, this is actually very, very good. This Arctic Sea is important that everybody, I remember even when we were having children, I still remember in the 80s, they will insist that you bring cod liver oil to the hospital because the children will need it because of the unsaturated fatty acid. But now we know better. That is better you get the one that has not been touched by heat. And that's what's unique about Forever Living Products Arctic Sea. No other company I've seen, I don't know, maybe some have started now, but that cold extraction process that will preserve the active ingredient is only present with this Arctic sea. And like I said, children, pregnant women, aging, or whatever, we all need this Arctic sea. You don't want to develop dementia, you don't want to have arthritis, you don't want to have tingling, you know, in the body and all that, and you don't want to have hypertension at all. This is the product for you. And if you already have it, you are also going to take higher dose. The normal dose for everybody is 2-3 times a day with your meals. But if you already have any of the challenges, like I said, you meet us, we'll tell you how to apply the product. Product application and appreciation is a class we hold from time to time. For those of us who are distributors, you know that if you apply these products correctly, you will get the desired result. You will be able to reverse any challenge that you have with the heart. Garlic thyme, like I said, the Arctic sea clears plaques from arteries, from oxygenated blood that flows in the arteries, that you have plaques. But in the veins, you have blood clots. These are not plaques. Arctic sea will not clear blood clots, but garlic thyme is like a broom. The garlic there is actually combined with thyme, so you don't have the odor that a lot of people that eat garlic have. But garlic on its own will help clear those blood clots without the side effect of, you know, the aspirin that most people, you know, take. But you need to clear blood clots from time to time, because whether you like it or not, it will always happen. Well, for those of us who do C9 from time to time, you see that you may not have that challenge of, you know, toxic reuptake at the large intestine, but you will still need to take garlic thyme from time to help clear up all these. Then, of course, the one I call the big, you know, boss of all of them is aloe vera gel. All these are products, you must take it with any of the preparation. We have about 4 different flavors of aloe vera gel because of the bioavailability of these nutrients. All these nutrients, like I've just explained, they are called body healing food. But if they don't get to their site of action, it's like wasting our money. But when you take them with aloe vera gel, it's able to carry this nutrient, this body healing food, to their site of action. It helps to boost your immune system. It helps to detoxify the system. And like I mentioned before, it is the most powerful single source antioxidant. The ORAC value is the highest right now as a single source. Not when you combine different antioxidants, but as a single source, it has the highest ORAC value. ORAC value means oxygen radical absorbent capacity. That is how you measure antioxidant right now in the science world. And aloe vera gel, the most investigated vegetable right now, is known to have the highest single source antioxidants to help you remove all those free radicals that are damaging cells everywhere. It has to cleanse the digestive system. Once you take it, like, you know, most of our trainers used to say, you brush your mouth every morning, but you don't have a big brush to go and brush the intestine. Meanwhile, the pores in the intestine are all clogged up, and we need to clear them up. But once you take your aloe vera gel first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening, on an empty stomach, I repeat, on an empty stomach. Most people take it with their food. They think it doesn't matter. It's just ordinary vegetable. It's not an ordinary vegetable. It's very, 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 very powerful. It doesn't have side effects. I know, but nobody wants to waste this or her money. Once you take it on an empty stomach, take water, it's able to remove all the disease-causing elements, open up the pores so that the nutrient you are taking can actually be absorbed. And then it's able to eliminate free radicals. It's able to help you go to toilet freely. It's not an adaptogen, because if you have running stomach and take a little dose, like 2 tablespoonfuls, it will arrest the running stomach. But if you are having constipation and not able to go to toilet in a whole full day, please take a full glass of aloe vera gel, drink water, and you see yourself, you know, go to the toilet now, normally and naturally. So it's a natural pain inhibitor, so it contains salicylate and all these ones in natural form, contains collagen naturally. That's why a lot of people, when you see us, we use aloe vera gel a lot, you look younger, because it contains natural collagen that helps you to blow, that helps you to, you know, firm up and make you shine 24/7. It's anti-inflammatory naturally, both internal inflammation or topically. You notice that if you have aloe vera jelly, that is Gelly, the tube in your kitchen, even if small hot water, anything touches the skin, you know, if you pour cold water, it will still form blister. If you put salt, it will still form blister and show sign that there was hot water. But if you put jelly there, you will see nobody will even know that hot water ever poured on that, you know, skin or that body. It's as powerful as that because it penetrates deep onto the second layer of any tissue. It's very helpful with those who have ulcer. If you take it with probiotic, you see that you and ulcer are negative, you know, parallel lines. Really, I just mentioned this aside topic because aloe vera gel is very, very versatile. But it's important for you to know that you need it to prevent hypertension, you need it to also reverse hypertension, and you need it to also help the whole family, everybody, make sure they don't, you know, get this hypertension, even if they are genetically predisposed to hypertension. Agi Plus is one important, you know, product. I want to celebrate FFP Nigeria because I hear this Agi Plus has arrived now, so please go get yours. It's not just the taste, it is an amazing product because it contains nitric oxide that helps blood vessels to dilate. So it becomes, you know, very easy to move the blood around. We are no longer trying to reduce the blood, but we are allowing the blood vessel not to be rigid, not to be strong. We are allowing it to be able to, you know, the blood vessel to carry blood to every part of the body. It also contains natural vitamin C, D, K, B6, B12, folic acid, all the blood forming elements that we need, but most importantly, the nitric oxide. I know before now, a lot of us were using multi-marker 4 tablets to replace Agi Plus because it also contains, you know, nitric oxide. But now that we have it, I want to assure you that, you know, all you need now is to take your, you know, Agi Plus every morning. If you use that Agi Plus to take your pap or to take your blossom tea, to take anything at all as sweet instead of sugar, we all know very well now that sugar is not very healthy. But use your Agi Plus, you'll be amazed at the taste and what it's doing to the body. So I already talked about super greens. All the greens that you need are all complete here. Take it every day, every morning, and just have your peace of mind. So to conclude, our role is to educate and create awareness as wellness influencers, to influence people to live more healthily. I mentioned to you 5 lifestyle modifications: nutrition, exercising, quit smoking or quit drinking, or stop allied toxic load into the system and detoxify from time to time. These are lifestyle modifications. They hydrate the body. Drinking water may not be enough because when you drink water, you go urinate, drink water, go urinate, but using aloe vera gel to hydrate from time to time. These 5 lifestyle modifications will help you to prevent hypertension. And if you already have it, I said there are ways, doses that you not take. I mentioned cardio heads, I mentioned Agi Plus, Arctic Sea, and I mentioned garlic thyme. These are the 4 basic products with aloe vera gel. 5 basic products called Save a Heart Pack. This Save a Heart Pack is important for all those not only predisposed, but those who are under stress, those who already have any of the signs and symptoms. You need them. And then detoxify from time to time. Exercise until you hit your 10,000 steps. I always make sure of that. Right now, you have all these smartphones you can use to just manage your BP, use to manage your steps on a daily basis. These are lifestyle modifications that will help you run away from high blood pressure, and don't take the body for granted. Even if you feel okay, still take them, because the way the world is going on, the heat wave, the stress and all, nobody can predict what is going on. So ours is to create the awareness, to educate, to remove all the risk factors, to give you all the preventive measures, to tell you how you can reverse them. And once you stand with them, as has happened with a lot of people successfully, we know you will be the next testimony. So go for screening from time to time to measure your BP, to make sure it is 120/80. 120/80 plus or minus 5 is allowed. From time to time, I want you to also reach out to the person that invited you here. We give counseling. We have a medical team of medical doctors that are more than 40 years in the practice, up to the ones that just started. We have quite a lot of them. We have pharmacists. Next week, I know either a medical doctor or another pharmacist will also be taking this topic. The medical team will be offering our services to you 24/7. Feel free to reach out onto us. Thank you very much. Time is fast spent now. I think because of the break in transmission from time to time, we overshot our time a little time. It's not a little. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, everyone. If you have questions, I will just take questions for just 5 minutes because we have actually overstayed. Please check the chat house if there are questions. Thank you very much, everyone. You can mute everybody now. Please raise your hand if you want us to unmute you and you want to talk to us. Just raise your hand if you have questions, if you have contributions, if you have anything to say. You can post it in the chat house or raise your hand and we will unmute you so you can talk to us.